Okay, so we have four linear equations. They turn out all to be linear. We're going to solve each one. First one is just a matter of use the distributive law here and here, and then collect your terms, and then get all the x's on one side and all the numbers on the other. And it's something everybody demonstrated good ability to do. So we'll run through this rather quickly. We get 3x minus 15. Make sure you multiply the 3 by both of these numbers, right? Okay. I think people are pretty good with that. And then we get 4x plus 12 minus 2x. And then negative 15 and 7 gives us 3x minus 8 equals 2x plus 12. And then we can subtract 2x. I'm combining a couple of steps. I'm subtracting 2x plus 8 because subtracting 2x on this side will get rid of the x's, and adding 8 on this side will get rid of the 8's, right? So I'm kind of combining two steps. You don't really need two steps to do this. And you end up with just x on this side, and on this side you end up with 20. And there you got a solution. Just as a reminder, check this. Three times 20 minus 5 plus 7 equals 4 times 20 plus 3 minus 2 times 20. Okay, well, you do the arithmetic rather easily. That's going to be 15. 3 times 15 is 45. Add 7, you get 52. 4 times 23 is 92. Subtract 40, you get 52. Okay? So this comes out 52 equals 52. And now, if you're on a test, you're going to have time to do this. You're sure, at least 99% sure, that you've done it right. You do have to show the steps, but you can abbreviate the steps kind of like I've done. Don't skip anything. Because, from what I see in your paper, some of you still aren't real sure about all the steps. Okay? I think most of you are real sure about the steps on this one, though. I didn't see anything that raised a flag when I looked through your quiz. Okay? So that one looks pretty good overall. Okay. Now here's where we start getting in a little bit of trouble. You have a denominator. What do you do when you have a denominator? You multiply both sides by that denominator. Both sides, not just one or two terms, every term on each side. To multiply both sides, here's your step. You do x minus 4, multiply by 2 over x minus 4 plus 3 equals x minus 4 times 5. You want to write this step out. You don't just start, multiply this by x minus 4 and don't do anything to the other two terms. That's going to be fatal. Okay? So you get this. This is going to give you 5x minus 20. Everybody knows that. Here, this is like x minus 4 over 1. X minus 4 is the same as x minus 4 over 1. So you see, you multiply this out, you're going to get 2 times x minus 4 over x minus 4. But that's the same as if you had x minus 4 over x minus 4 times 2 over 1. You're going to multiply these two things, so you can reverse multiplication, you get x minus 4 over x minus 4, which is just 1. 2 over 1 is just 2. And I'm not going to write that out. I've done wrote it out. I've written it out several times. So we get 2 plus 3x minus 12 equals 5x minus 20. Okay? Now, a couple of trivial steps. Okay? Now you need to fill them in. But it's pretty clear if we subtract 5x from both sides, we're going to get a negative 2x here, right? And then 2 minus 12 is negative 10. Add that to both sides, add 10 to both sides, and you get 10. You get 2x equals 10, and I believe that gives you x equals 5. Of course, now I skipped steps and did something in my head, which is really unreliable. And well, another thing I did, it should be negative 5, right? Okay? I was a little careless there. It's negative 2x, so it is 5. Well, let's see if it is. Okay, put 5 in here. You get 2 over 5 minus 4, that's 2. 2 and 3 is 5, duh. It's not a duh. I mean, you got to do it. So you shouldn't have said duh, should have said bingo. Okay? Make sense? Okay. Y'all did well with the a equals pi r squared, which is gratifying because there's one problem on the homework that involved a square, and some people missed it. So I wasn't really deathly worried about it, but anticipated some people would miss that one. I don't see, I didn't look that closely, I just kind of leafed through, but I didn't see anything that stood out as somebody having missed that problem. Okay, so that's very good. Now there's one technicality, I just want to make sure I focus the whole board. Okay, one technicality that we're going to talk about, and it's going to be important in a couple of weeks. A equals pi r squared. So we divide both sides by pi. And that's safe because pi isn't 0. If we divide by a variable, we got to make note of the values of that variable that would make it 0, okay? Whatever we're dividing by. The values of the variable that would make whatever we're dividing by 0, equal to 0. I'll get it right, yeah. Okay, a over pi then is pi r squared over pi. We know that then you can separate that out. Pi over pi times r squared over 1. Just gives you r squared. We usually want the variable we're solving for on the left, so I'll just switch sides. So you want to say r is the square root of a over pi. I don't want you to say that. I want you to say that r is just plus or minus the square root of a over pi. Once you get in the habit of doing that. Because when you take the square root of a number, well, if the square of a number is 25, for example, what could that number be? It could be 5, but if you square negative 5, you also get 25. There are two solutions to something squared equals something. I want you to try to get in the habit of always writing that out. Then you can say, okay, well, this is, what's this a formula for? What's the formula for the area of a circle? Everybody should recognize that. Did you see that in the section of geometry? Okay, pi r squared. We talked about it. So you just didn't want to say you didn't want to stick your neck out. I think everybody probably knew. If you didn't, do a little soul searching. Why didn't you remember that? Okay, maybe you just got a bad memory and can't do anything about it. So, then you better write stuff out and have a little reference and hope you can hold it together long enough to take a test. Okay, anyhow, you get this. Now, If this, I should say, if A and R respectively represent the area of a circle, but I don't want to spend that much time writing, okay? But if this represents the area and radius of a circle, it's pretty obvious what I mean. Then, as often happens, but not always, your solution can't be negative. Radius is a positive number. You don't have to write the plus. I'm just going to write it for emphasis. You could just write R equals square root of A over pi. Okay? So, that's it. Now, I've only got this much space to do this. Do you think I can do that? Yeah, actually, this is the shortest, probably the shortest problem on the test if you do it right. Okay, you got 7 over Q plus 3 equals 4 over Q. So you multiply both sides by Q. Okay? Q times 7 over Q plus 3 equals Q times 4 over Q. Remembering to do the step of multiplying both sides, not just the number, not just the expression that you're focused on at the moment. Okay, because it's real easy to just focus on, well, I want to get rid of that, so just multiply this by Q, forget to multiply all the rest, right? Write this step out rigorously and carefully. Then you get okay, again, you got a couple of steps in here that you want to think through. This could be written Q over 1 times 4 over Q, which could be written as Q over Q times 4 over 1. Okay? Q over Q is 1, 4 over 1 is 4, so you get 4. Similarly with this one, except you get 7. Okay? So now you have 7 plus 3Q equals 4. You subtract 7 from both sides. I want to see that step, but you get 3Q equals negative 3. So the Q equals negative 1. You want to put these steps in there so you know what those steps are. I don't want you skipping any steps, because when these get more complicated, it's going to be real easy to skip steps that you don't want to be skipping. You know, we're still in elementary algebra here. We haven't touched intermediate algebra yet. Okay? When you get into the intermediate algebra, things get a little hairier. You want to follow the rules and explicitly follow the rules whenever you solve an equation or do anything else. Okay? Okay. So as I say, I think y'all are in pretty good shape here. You work on the first 3 questions. I think just about everybody got them. Okay? On this last question, it was a little shaky, but many people did get it.